Welcome to the second episode of Live.withcode.uk. I'm Mr. Dring from Fulford School, and each week I'm doing a 10-minute live coding video to help people who are stuck at home during the coronavirus school closures. Last week we did a random activity generator, and I want to say thank you to everybody who sent in their code and got involved in those activities. This was sent in by Adam from Fulford School, who went a stage further and investigated graphical user interfaces with TK Inter. And lots of people have sent in suggestions and requests for future episodes. Thank you for taking part and getting involved. There's some great ideas to schedule for future episodes. This week we're doing a quiz. So reading data from a file, processing that data, displaying it to the screen, letting the user type in a response. So the problem we're solving is to try and create a quiz that will ask questions and tell you instantly if you get those questions right or wrong. Remember, each activity, there's a link in the description underneath the video in YouTube. There's some free interactive online resources that you can work through at your own pace. So let's get started. This week we're going to create a quiz. So we're just going to have an introduction message output onto the screen. So welcome to the ultimate quiz. Control Enter to run. We want to have some questions that are stored in a file that can be read in. So my 3-year-old sometimes catches me and he won't let me go until I've answered a clue, and his clue is always the same. He says, what is yellow and has holes in it? And my 5-year-old, if he does the same, he often asks about pirates. So he will say, what has one leg, and says, I don't know how to spell this, so sorry if I got this wrong, are a lot. So I'm just going to put the questions in for now so that we can load them from a file. Right, so to load from a file, we need to open the file and we need to give the file a name. So let's just call this questions.txt. It's just a text file, nothing special about it, but we need to know which file to load from. So as long as your file name matches the file name in here. If you're doing this in idle or a different IDE, just make sure your text file is in the same folder as your Python code. Okay, so we open the file. You can either do something like f equals open and then remember to do f.close later, or a slightly better way of doing it is you can say with this open file as f and then a colon, and every line in Python that has a colon, the next line is going to be indented, and this says it uses this stuff here, and as soon as you stop indenting it will automatically close the file for you. Right, so let's use the file, and we're going to read all of the lines from this file. So hopefully no errors apart from me spelling ultimate wrong. But we want to display the text that we've read from the file. Great, so we've got a list with 2 items in, both read from this file. You can have whatever questions you like. Instead of displaying them, I think it would make more sense if we stored them. So let's say lines equals, and then we want to display 1 at random. So Python can't do anything random unless you import the random module. So now hopefully we can use that random module to choose. We're going to make a choice from that list of lines. And then if we display that, we'll hopefully get 1 random question. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to store that for now as line singular. Just 1 line is, well, one that we've chosen from our list of multiple lines. Okay, now just the question isn't that much use. I'd like to be able to structure the data so it stores the answer and the question. So let's say we'll put the answer first, then a comma, and then the question. So a pirate has 1 leg, it says are a lot. So now we want to take our line and we want to split it wherever we come across a comma so that we can get what's to the left of it and what's to the right of it. And Python's pretty clever. You can unpack this. So this will return a list. Let's have a look. So we've got the answer and the question, and Python can unpack that into 2 variables. So if we say answer, help, I've just pressed insert by mistake. Answer equals line.split. Answer and question. So we're storing both of those items into 2 separate variables here. So we can hopefully just display the question. Great, what's yellow and has holes in it? And sometimes it'll do the other question as well. Okay, so next we want to, instead of displaying the question, we want to ask the question. So we can type something in. Oops, no, cheese does not have one leg and says R a lot. Sorry about that. If you ask a question, it's always polite to listen to the answer. So we don't want to do answer equals because we've already set the right answer to that variable. Let's call it something different, like attempt. So this is what the user types in. So then we can say if what the user types in is equal to the correct answer. Remember, 2 equals for testing if things are the same, 1 equals for assignment to set the value of a variable. Okay, so if the attempt is equal to the answer, we can give a congratulatory message. Well done, you're awesome. If they don't match, we can say, oh dear. Let's have a look. So does cheese have 1 leg? Nope. Does a pirate have 1 leg? Yes, it does. Okay, so we're getting there. What would be better is if you type in the right answer, but without the capitalization it's expecting. So in the answers in the file, it's got a capital C. If I type in a lowercase c, it's going to think they're completely different text strings. So to fix that, we're going to convert both what the user types in to uppercase, capital letters, and what the actual answer is. So hopefully now any combination of capital letters and lowercase letters will work in our quiz. Fab. So I'm going to suggest some challenges for you to work through when you investigate this code. So challenges. Challenge number 1. Add your own questions. It should work if you put as many questions as you like, as long as they all have an answer, comma, and a question. And then challenge number 2, make it loop through, all questions. I can't spell questions today, sorry about that. So we've used the random module to just choose 1 line. If you use a for loop, you'd be able to work through each of the lines here and display them all separately. And then challenge number 3, make a variable to keep track of the score. So score is a variable that starts at 0. Each time you get something right, you can increase it by 1 and then just display the score at the end. Fab. I'm going to save this and then I'll share the link with you. Remember, in the description underneath the video on YouTube, there are 4 links to free interactive online resources that you can work through at home. And also, new this week, Mr. Tate from All Saints has very kindly set us a debugging challenge. So I'll share the link to this code as well. The first 3 people to send in correct working code for this Guess My Number challenge to the email address shown will get a prize. Haven't worked out what the prize is yet, other than respect and kudos and admiration. But the first 3 people will get a prize this week. I'm trying to work on a live scoreboard so your teachers can keep track of all of your progress, but I'll give you more details about that next week. For now, check out the links to the resources underneath this video. Look after yourselves and your families. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I will see you same time and place next week. Bye-bye.